They were a massive company. They just got shut down. They got their license taken away for inflating THC percentages and looking over pesticides, right? Their machines just weren't able to find them. So they looked over them, right? They didn't know they were there and chose not to say. Poor labs, just getting targeted by these people. Good to be here for my third video back. Let's take a little dab to start it. If you haven't seen, I got this for free at an event and it is absolutely alien looking. This is actually pretty unlabeled, but this is from Foxfire Extracts, which I met them at an event. They're like, I don't know, they make some crazy good shit. This is the Black Licorice X Lemon Cherry Gelato, and it is, I don't know, it's unique. It's unique as shit. Alright, good little glob to start the video. Wow, this thing rips. Alright, so it's good to be back for my third video. If you couldn't tell from the title, this video is going to be about THC percentages and honestly new information that's come out since my last video. Basically, I explained how labs and companies are working together to basically inflate their THC percentages a little bit to compete with each other. And it's also a positive feedback loop, right? Because brands will take these samples right off the top, like whether it's distillate, rosin, anything like that, send it off to like 10, 15 different labs, and then the one that returns the highest THC percentage is the one that they will use for the full panel test the entire time. So it basically gives labs incentives to fake their THC percentages and make it a little bit higher so that companies choose them over other labs. I mean, to be honest, with pesticides too, which this is a lot worse, a lot of the time they'll choose the lab that returns the clean sample, even if one of them returns a dirty sample, which at that point it needs to be tested again. That one fucking got me. Here, I'm gonna prepare the next one. We have the papaya pound cake. I think some papaya. Save that for later. And basically in June of 2024, I think it was June, there was this entire controversy came out with the LA Times where they independently tested a bunch of samples from a bunch of companies, which included Stizzy, which included West Coast Cure, and it basically said that they'd been lying about THC percentage and they had been lying about some of them pesticide contamination. And so one of the things that I'm going to say first is different states have different requirements for pesticide testing. So there are some pesticides which are banned in some states while they're legal in other states. And so they detected levels of pesticides that were pretty high in some of them that California doesn't legally have to test for. And they're pretty bad ones here. I think it was one called pymetrozine, which is not banned in California at all. And so yeah, there was a bunch of that in a bunch of companies. There were some that were clean and that weren't lying about their THC percentage, but I think there was one sample that on the bag, it said 30% THC, and they tested it and it said 8% THC. And so that LA Times article came out, and then honestly, everyone kind of stopped talking about it, right? There was kind of this entire thing where brands just like marketed on having cleaner product, right? Which is kind of gave brands a marketing incentive to have cleaner product. Because the thing is, people are now looking for companies that are lying. And so companies that aren't lying can actually sell their shit for a lot more and sell a lot more of it. If more people know about that, if more people know about the dangerous companies and the clean companies, because the thing is, they posted the dangerous companies and the clean companies because they tested a lot and some of them came out clean, right? So dude, those companies got a fucking lot of business after that. That is one of the reasons that people were getting like a little bit, oh, this is a witch hunt and stuff like that, because it is true that, I mean, and it definitely would be true that the companies that tested clean, like dude, everybody went right to them. You can see the glob sitting in that chamber and it's just tempting me. So like, bro, get out of my head. Alright. Dude, for some reason I can smoke a whole joint in here, but my smoke detector can't handle a dab. If it goes off, I'll keep it in. It's just funny as fuck. I have all this canned air over here because you can just No fucking way it happened once. Alright, that's so funny. I smoked a whole ass joint. Dude, I can take a bong rip in here. I can smoke a joint in here, but I mean, honestly, like, dude, that kind of makes me a little bit worried because if it can handle a whole ass joint, if it can handle a whole ass bong rip, but the thing is, it can't handle a dab like that, those things detect carbon monoxide too. I don't know whether it's because the smoke is just kind of more of a very hot vapor. But yeah, the reason that I decided to do this video right now is because on April 10th, Bell Costa Labs, which right now, if you have any kind of cartridge packaging or concentrate packaging, go over there right now and see if it has a Bell Costa Labs label on it, because chances are it does. They were a fucking massive company. They just got shut down. They got their license taken away for inflating THC percentages and looking over pesticides, right? Their machines just weren't able to find them, so they looked over them, right? They didn't know they were there and chose not to say. Like, they wouldn't do that, right? Poor labs, just getting targeted by these people. According to DCC, Bell Costa released failed samples for retail sale, and later DCC tests found that the specimens contained measurable amounts of pathogenic Aspergillus, which is, I think, yeah, that's a spore, that's a fungi, but basically can give you a lung infection. Inflated the THC in 2 flower samples that they tested, which they were only flower samples. And the thing is they test a lot of concentrate, a lot of vapes, a lot of everything like that. So there's definitely more of that there. And the thing is, they posted the potency of 24.5%. And it says, according to this letter, the DCC determined that those 2 samples contained THC potencies of only 17.4 and 14.7. So basically, both of them had the same percentage pasted on them. And so that shows that maybe they might be getting a bit lazy, you know? But yeah, the thing is that those are the 2 most important problems, is the failure to report potentially dangerous mold or pesticides or something like that. And not as big of a problem, but still kind of bullshit, is the inflation of THC percentage. So, to end this video, I would just like to say, I have a feeling that this will be a very good thing for the industry, especially because the article in June was published on the LA Times, which is really, like, it's a platform that posts things about cannabis, but it posts a lot of other shit, right? And so I think this is a good thing for the industry, because I feel like this might lead to the end of marketing off potency. Maybe the less potent stuff will become more expensive just because people know that they're using reputable labs. You know what I mean? The labs might even cost more, you know? Let's take this one more dab. Thank y'all so much if you watched to this point. Like, subscribe, everything like that. I'm really excited to be back. This is my 3rd video back, actually, so definitely if you watched to this point, thank you. But yeah, I just thought this was important to make right now. Alright, so no fucking way.